Should I pay off my mortgage early or should I invest in stocks? Every year, millions of people have to make this decision. And for many of these people, it is one of the most important financial decisions they will ever make. If you choose wrong, it could potentially cause you to miss out of tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars that you would have otherwise got to keep. Today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on what you should do if you're facing this critical decision. Should I invest money? Should I pay off my house? Make sure you stay until the end because I will also be answering a key question from one of my subscribers that you're not going to want to miss. Without further ado, let's dive in. All right, guys, why do people have to make this decision? The reason why so many people have to choose between paying off their mortgages early or investing money into stocks or real estate is because they want to get ahead financially. But what they don't know is which option is actually the better option for them. Bottom line, paying off a mortgage early can help you to get out of debt, which can be a massive weight off your shoulders. It also allows you to build equity in your home faster while saving your money in interest. The less debt you have, the easier it can be for you to afford things: food, gasoline, energy, clothes, and travel, things that you need to take care of your friends and your family. But considering how much the cost of living has risen in recent years, this is an important discussion that we need to have. The cost of living is such an important issue in America right now that many people believe that it was actually one of the key reasons why Trump won the election and not Kamala Harris. A survey conducted by payroll.org revealed that 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you're not currently living paycheck to paycheck, you're technically ahead of the game, so well done on that. But 78% means that 78% of the people watching this video are. Now let's talk about the other side of the coin, stocks. Let's face it, many people who invest in stocks make a lot of money doing so sometimes. Some stocks generate incredible returns. For example, Nvidia's up over 2,000% in the last 5 years. So if you would have put all your extra money into paying off your mortgage early instead of investing into Nvidia stock, it could have potentially caused you to miss out on incredible opportunities to make massive amounts of money. But of course, picking perfect stocks is not easy. It's not an easy task. So which is the better option then? Should I just try to pay process of, oh my gosh, I'm Warren Buffett? Or should I just focus on paying off my mortgage and getting out of debt? The answer to this question depends highly on your specific situation, go figure. But there are a number of key factors that affects whether you would be better off paying down your mortgage early or investing that money in the stock market. Here are some of the top factors that you should take into consideration before making your decision. Number one, your investing skill and strategy. If you're someone with zero investing experience, then of course, it's going to be safer for you to spend the money paying down your mortgage early. After all, investing in stocks does not require skills, but it would be better if you had skills, and profits are not guaranteed. Every single year, there are countless people who lose money in the stock market by guessing and they don't have the right emotions going in. It's even riskier if you invest your money into individual stocks as opposed to index funds, which is a collection of stocks. Keep in mind that the S&P 500, which is an index that represents America's largest 500 companies by market capitalization, does return an average of around 10% every year. You can reduce your risk substantially by investing in index funds tied to the S&P 500 if you decide to go the stock route. But if you're someone who just finds the entire stock market, I don't know, overwhelming, then you would most likely be better off paying off your mortgage early. There's no risk involved in paying off your mortgage early. If your specific mortgage allows you to pay it off early, then you can make a larger payment to the lender than your regular monthly payment. This results in you saving a little bit of money on interest and building up equity quicker in your home. You can actually save money in interest just by making bi-weekly mortgage payments instead of once a month payments. This is true even if you pay the same total amount each month. When you pay your mortgage in bi-weekly payments, it results in your principal getting paid down faster and you pay less interest in the long term. So this could be a great option to save a little bit of money if you're strapped for cash and don't have a lot of extra money to make larger mortgage payments each and every single month. Using this strategy actually can shave years off of your mortgage. In fact, on average, most people obtain a 30-year mortgage. By making bi-weekly payments instead of monthly payments, you can reduce your mortgage period by an average of 4 to 6 years. It's pretty amazing, right? You should talk to your lender to see if they will allow you to make bi-weekly payments instead of monthly payments. And if you're interested in this strategy, it's absolutely something you can incorporate right away. But step number 2 in figuring out whether or not you should invest or pay off is your specific mortgage rate. This is where things get a little tricky, and it's because mortgage rates vary significantly from person to person, from underwriting to underwriting. One person who got their mortgage during the pandemic, when rates were at historic lows, might only have an interest rate of 2.8 to 3%, whereas another person who got their mortgage in 2023 might have an interest rate of 7.5%. The higher your mortgage rate is, the harder it is to have your stock market investments outperform paying your mortgage rate earlier. So for example, if you have a high mortgage rate of 7.5%, then your investments have to generate a rate of return over 7.5% after taxes in order to outperform paying off your mortgage early. Karlton, what does this mean? It means that generally speaking, it can make more sense sometimes to pay your mortgage off early if your mortgage rate is high, and it can make more sense to invest in the stock market if your mortgage rate is lower. Making sense? A lot of you probably have mortgage rates that are somewhere in the middle, right? Somewhere between 4 to 6%. For you guys, it's going to be harder to tell you which is the better option. But here's what I will say. Thanks to the modern world that we live in, you can actually use early mortgage payoff calculators online for free. There are plenty of these calculators. All you have to do is plug in the data for your specific situation, and they can give you a pretty good idea of what will be the better option for you. These tools are quite handy. They're not the be-all, end-all solution for finding the right answer, but they can provide data that's really helpful and help you make a smarter decision. But what about refinancing? This has to be talked about. It is critical to keep in mind that as interest rates drop, there's also the opportunity to refinance your entire mortgage and get a mortgage with a much lower interest rate. It can make sense for people with high mortgages and high mortgage interest rates to refinance and get a loan with a lower rate when the opportunity arises. Then they can spend their extra money investing into the stock market where they aren't going to get crushed by higher interest rates anymore. So this can be a great strategy as well. The last but not least, and something we have to factor in here, is peace of mind. The next factor I want you to consider is what's going to give you the best peace of mind. Whether you're investing in the stock market, there's always a chance that the stock market will take a nosedive and go through a major crash. It's ebbs and flows of the market. Huge stock market crashes tend to happen periodically, such as the massive crash of 2008, what we experienced a little bit during COVID. I know a lot of people watching this probably remember how brutal 2008 was, or remember what it was like going through COVID before we saw that up spike. But if you're heavily invested in stocks when the market crashes, then your portfolio will most likely dip or drop significantly, which is when you should put money in. For people who are retired or nearing retirement, it's be much more difficult to deal with compared to people who are in their 20s and 30s and have decades to continue to earn and invest. When you invest in paying off your mortgage early, you lock in the returns. And this is because you're converting debt into equity and you're reducing the amount of interest you'll have to pay. Owning your home and not having to worry about making those mortgage payments can be pretty nice and can generate tremendous peace of mind. Once you own a home, you won't have to stress out about the bank seizing the property if you lose your job or your business goes under or you can't keep up with the mortgage payments because you've already paid off the mortgage. This peace of mind can be priceless for many people. If you're currently having a mortgage, just imagine how incredible it would feel to never have to pay that monthly payment again, never have to worry about making another mortgage payment for the property. You only dealt with property taxes. But here's something to keep in mind. You will still have to keep up with those property taxes forever. And if you stop paying them, that home can no longer be yours again. So keep that in mind. The good news about paying off your mortgage early or investing in stocks is that both of these options can potentially be extremely beneficial from a financial standpoint. After all, if you pay your mortgage off early, you could potentially save a lot of money in interest, and you can build up your home equity faster. And if you invest in stocks, you could potentially earn 8-10% or more a year, depending on your investing skill, which could outweigh paying off your mortgage fast. If you're going to choose to invest in stocks, however, you should keep in mind that there are ways to do this that have great tax benefits. For example, you can invest in stocks through a traditional or a Roth 401k. When you invest in a traditional 401k or IRA, you fund them with pre-tax dollars. This can lower your taxable income for the tax year, and then you can account for that in a tax-deferred manner. If you go with a Roth 401k, IRA, you fund them with after tax dollars. Then they can grow completely tax-free and you can take them out, take those funds out tax-free. Both are fantastic options. Okay, as promised, here is a question that came over from one of my subscribers. This question was asked by Anna Doe 3885 on the 3 biggest tax mistakes with home ownership video. The question was, is HOA tax deductible? If you own an investment property, HOA fees are tax deductible. If you own a primary residence, they're not. That's all I got for today's video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And guess what? I'll see you on the next video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you there. Cheers.